it's about making and growing that comfort zone in which you are bigger and bigger, so it reflects whom you are becoming.
Hello everyone, and welcome to our first edition in English of the Dynamic Business Talks. I'm delighted to be here with my colleague Edi Voicu and our guest speaker Diana Mereu.
Hi everyone.
Diana, I've known you for so long, and I'm very happy that you accepted my invitation to be here today with us. I'm not going to start presenting you because I think the best way to present you and your product is to do it by yourself. So, welcome to Dynamic Business Talks.
And thank you so
Welcome
much.
to our show.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, I am the one privileged here, not you guys, or I don't know, we'll see by the end of it. But I mean, I'm super happy to be here. And yeah, I mean, we have a history together. It goes like, yeah, so many years behind. We don't want to let people know because that would make us even older than we look, which we don't really want. But let's say that, yeah, I'm super happy that you have invited me here, and super delighted to be here with you guys. And it's quite not that easy to talk about myself. I think like the who question is not the easiest one to
Of course, but
answer.
we want to. We don't want to. I don't want to make you uncomfortable for sure. But you know, when you push someone to do something where to take him out of his comfort zone,
Yeah.
sometimes things are way better than.
That's true. That's true. And I would start actually by something else, and then I can continue with the proper introduction. The challenging part for me when it comes to comfort zones, I think I like it better when you say just, okay, take somebody to extend or expand their comfort zone, because once somebody hears about a challenge, they kind of freak out and they react. So if we do this and we together expand
Yes,
our comfort zones, then
For sure, it will be because also in this edition, because as I said, I know you, but now I'm happy that more people will have the chance to know you. It's also that you are a coach. So I think
Yeah.
I'm losing some steps. I'm going
Sure.
forward a little.
Yeah.
But because you are a coach, and this is about comfort zone, because I challenge you a little bit in here. Tell us a little bit about how did you choose to be a life coach?
well, yeah, that's pretty much closer to today's environment, and but the history goes way back because I'm a pharmacist by profession, and okay, a life changer by choice. But the pharmacist thing goes back like many years ago. So I have graduated from pharmacy school, and I have started working within the pharmacy industry actually. And then moved on up to me now representing the self-care industry in Romania when it comes to making it right for the consumers and patients here. So yeah, it's been many years within this field. I'm very happy and very lucky to do something that I like and I love. It's been a very challenging and not necessarily challenging, but more than challenging, it's been a rewarding career for me until now. And what
Do you see yourself doing something else? I mean, working in another field, or it's just made for you, it's perfect for you?
I think so far it's been perfect for me.
Okay.
I've never been the one to reply to that. What do you see yourself in the next 5 or 10
Yeah,
years?
no, okay.
Time to do. So I'm not really sure what to answer, because I mean, everything around us develops and happens to pass so quickly. So I don't really know what is going to be next, but what I'm doing now, like enjoying the present moment
exactly.
and taking the most out of it, it's that, yeah, I mean, I love my job and I love what I do. And the funny thing is that during the whole course of my career, I've been the liaison between the company or organization that I was representing with external stakeholders. So in a way, I think I have built for myself a reputation of being a manager of networks and a creator of communities. so I think that came without me knowing exactly what I am doing.
It's just come
some-
out of you.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
something
Yeah,
natural.
exactly.
It's who you are.
Yeah, I mean, thank you so much for saying that, because I mean, coming from you, you're also doing that very well.
Thank you so
And I think this thing, like putting people together, is not the easiest thing in the world. And there's it's one thing when you bring communities together, but I think it's even harder when you bring professionals together, because they kind of have. Each has like different personalities, and they come from different fields. They have different life experiences. So doing that, I think it's even harder. So, but once you start that, it just becomes part of who you are, and yeah, you can't let that go.
What I
afterwards,
think
guess.
is so cool is that what you are doing is also that you are able to read a person, and then maybe I think you are doing is guiding him into what direction to take, because we are so many introverts and extroverts, and oh my god, also in the business like community, because this is also what's happening with me, like doing the networking, and
Yeah.
people don't really understand what is it networking. Why should I go there? I go to an event and oh my god, if I'm an introvert, I just sit there and oh, my boss sent me there and I don't.
And I have to do the
yes,
work.
and I have to do it, and when I have to go home. But if someone comes and tells you, okay, this is a way of putting yourself out into the world, of
Yeah.
people getting to know you. It's not about the
Expanding your
business.
comfort zone.
Yes, it's not about the business you are representing. It's
Yeah.
about you going and making new connections
Oh,
that are
definitely.
going to help you maybe in the future.
True. Actually, I was looking at a video Simon Sinek did. I think like 1 month or 2 months ago, and he was saying something similar about introverts and extroverts, and he references himself as an introvert, which is pretty much awkward when you
Yeah.
see it, like, because he
When you see
always
him.
puts himself there. But he was talking about this kind of networking events, and the best advice that he was giving, or at least it seemed like that for me, was that him as an introvert was always taking another person which was extrovert with him there, because they were
Like a-
complementing each other, you know. And so he was kind of absorbing the information, and the other one was putting information out there. So that was like a very
That's so inspiring.
It's
Yes.
so
Yeah.
inspiring, and it makes you think, you know, because it doesn't really matter where you come from. It doesn't really matter who you are as a person, because we kind of are there in the society to complement each other, and everybody is part of your story. Actually, I mean, I can't say that I'm living my story and being an individual without the people around me.
Of course.
So yeah, I mean, I think it links and it goes back very well to what you were
Thank you
saying.
for sharing this with us, because it's
Yes.
really very inspiring. And you know the motto of our show is inspire before
Before
you
you
expire.
expire.
Love it, love it.
So having people like you here, it's really a privilege. So, but now Eddie, please.
Okay, so you told us that you come from the healthcare industries. Can you tell us more information about this industry? I'm sure that people that are looking are interested in
Sure.
this kind of field. So, what are the regulations, and what can you do to be innovative, to do something new in this field? Because from what I know, it's something that it's always based on new researches, new products come along, new studies come along. Okay.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, well, it's a very complex environment for one to work in, and it is a lot about giving back to the society. So whenever you
Okay.
are in a field like this, it's always about the patient or the consumer in front of you. So that's what I've been doing for the past years, and I love doing that, like giving back to the society. Even if I am doing it from, I don't know, my position as a CEO for an association, or my position as a life coach, or my position as an author, and so on. So given that complexity, one has to know how to navigate the complexities of the industry, and you have to know from the start that, yeah, it is a field which is very well regulated. It has a lot of restrictions, it has a lot of rules. So it is quite challenging to be not innovative, but to be creative in this field.
Yeah, yeah. That would be the downside, but I believe the
Yeah.
upside is that if you have these regulations and if you know them well and if you act on them,
Yeah.
but you're not going to do something bad.
Exactly.
So you have the basis.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, on the bright side, to put on the positives, on the bright side is that you get to apply this kind of ethics and this kind of compliance beyond your working field. So beyond your place wherever you are working, you get to extend that and to make it work in your personal life as well. So I do consider myself an ethical person. Okay, I've grown and to be an ethical person since I was a little kid. My family educated me in that way, but I think my career made me even stronger in the ethical sphere. Exactly because of what you say, because of those rules, and because you have to be compliant with those rules. So yeah, that's something which is very interesting, and also something very important here to mention is although there are rules and although there is regulation, there is still room, even little, but there is room for innovation, and there are many digital companies who enter now the healthcare landscape, and they are providing a lot of services. You know, when it comes to patient intake, when it comes to imaging, when it comes to remote healthcare. What else? Like precise medicine delivery. So there are many digital technologies which now become embedded within the service that healthcare companies provide, and I think this brings them closer even more to the patients and the consumers, and makes them part of their lives.
Wow.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. But sorry, listening to you and because you brought it up a little bit, how is it to be a CEO of an association at your age? I mean, seriously, you're still very young, and you were appointed in a CEO position. So I think this is me mentioning this part is because I admire you, and you are the proof that even if you are young, and if you are believing in yourself and working yourself in order to grow, you can reach this point. So tell us just a little bit, because as I said, we want to inspire people to see that if you want to do something, you can reach it.
Sure. I mean, being a CEO is nice on paper. Let's start like that. And no, I mean, it's really amazing in real life as well, because again, you have the opportunity to meet other people, and you get the opportunity to also come in close contact with ideas and with companies and with services with which maybe you wouldn't have the opportunity to interact if you would have been on another position other than a CEO. But it comes with a huge responsibility on your shoulders. There is a company or an association, in my case, narrative that you have to adhere to. There are high standards that you have to, again, to abide by. There is a lot of pressure, in a good way, in a way, because it gets you from point A to point B, it gets you to develop, it gets you to grow. So I don't know if anyone wakes up one morning or they're just born to be a CEO. Maybe, I don't know, born to be a CEO. I think that should be the name of my next book or something.
Yes, born to be a CEO, that's so good.
But yeah, I mean, that's some skills and some personal traits that you get to learn. But in order for you to get to learn them, first, I mean, you have to have some sort of trust from people who decide to put you in that position. And I'm super grateful that I had this trust from the board of directors, from the association that I represent. So they trusted me from the beginning, although being young, because I'm in this position for 5 years now. So they had the trust in me to make this association happen, and further to grow not only the association but grow along with it. I don't know if I replied.
Yes, you
exactly
did.
Your question.
But it takes me to the other question, and I don't want to discuss too much about it. But was it challenging?
It was. It was. But
Yeah,
okay,
give us the personal.
I love challenges. Okay, so in personal and in professional life, I love challenges, and I think that was actually something that pulled me even more towards the coaching field that you were mentioning at the beginning, because challenges don't necessarily come with a burden on your shoulders, but rather with a lift. They kind of lift you up from where you are to where you want to get. But it depends on your comfort zone. And although I like challenges, when it comes to my coaching practice, for example, I don't like the idea of pushing people beyond whatever limits they have for themselves. That's why I keep on using the word expanding, because it's about making and growing that comfort zone in which you are bigger and bigger, so it reflects whom you are becoming. So I think that's what happened with me for the past years. It just, that comfort zone grew bigger and bigger while I was challenging it. So now I can say both that I'm in my comfort zone and that I'm challenging my comfort zone at the same time. So I pretty much love it.
Okay, so I saw that you brought us a little gift or something to show us.
Yeah?
From what I see, it is a book, right?
Yeah, it is.
No, okay, I'm joking. So, can you tell us a bit about this book?
Sure.
On the lookout for the better half.
Yeah.
But before,
Yeah.
sorry, it's congratulations for writing it.
Thank
it's,
you.
It's oh my God, you are so many things.
Yeah.
I can't decide on which area to discuss with you because they are all so exciting.
Yeah, yeah.
But knowing you, because I know her for so long, and
That's your
yeah,
advantage for today.
That's
so.
my advantage for today, because
Exactly.
there is a guest who I know before. Is how did you take the how did you start this idea of writing a book? And then,
Okay.
sorry Eddie, but then to answer to him, because
Sure.
becoming a writer, it's
Yeah,
awesome.
Well, it's kind of a business card nowadays, I have to admit to that, because telling somebody you're an author, it comes with, okay, some perks, I have to admit. So that's the good thing in it. But yeah, I mean, okay, I am many things, but that's because I love doing so many things at the same time, and I think I'm doing them well. Although I'm doing many, I think I'm doing all
You're
of them well.
Okay, okay.
So I think I'm managing very well my time, my energy, my resources, my inner resources when it comes to putting myself out there.
I love to see this stuff in people, so to have this confidence. We are usually born and learn that you have to be humble, you have to be, okay, you have to be humble, you
Yeah.
don't have to be, I don't know, to flex yourself in
Yeah.
front of other people. But if you're confident in yourself, I mean, that's amazing. So
Yeah.
bravos for that.
Thank you. But I think it's very interesting what you say, because I think it depends on the role that you have. Because yeah, you can be humble in a certain position that you have in
Of
your
course.
like
Yeah.
in your job, or either in a certain context, like when you are with some friends. Then you can be more energetic in a different context or in a different role. And I think it's very interesting because we transform so much, like during the years, and also we kind of get a lot from all these experiences of whom we are and whom we are becoming along the way. And it was very interesting. I'm not trying to avoid any questions here, so
Okay.
please come back to them. But they kind of remind me of different stuff. So this one, for example, it reminds me of an HR responsible person from Google, and they were talking about the future of careers and of jobs. And they were talking that, okay, nowadays you are required to be very specialized in your field, right? So either you are within the IT or in HR or whatever kind of field you are working in, they require you to be very specialized. What they are doing in Google, and I found this very interesting, is that they are looking for people who are more general in their approach, because the company is advancing so fast and the technology gets us to move from point A to point B so
So you
fast
have to be flexible.
that you have to be flexible and to adapt to whatever services and to whatever tasks the company asks you to do. So yeah, I think that's something very, very cool.
So
that
basically growing your emotional intelligence.
yeah,
Then,
that too.
like, because I know in this moment that we are living, is sometimes it's better to have a EI, so how do you say emotional intelligence, than the IQ.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that makes you more
People, more aware to
Yes.
people's feelings and more aware to whatever surrounds you. Because again, we are not alone here, and that's the beauty of it. Because again,
We have
everybody triggers
automatization
Yeah.
for
something in you.
Yeah.
Correct.
But
So yeah,
Going
back to the
back-
book.
back to the book.
Back to the book.
back to the book, and yeah, doing more of the book and less the Google part today. I have been writing poetry for the past 5 to 6 years, so something like that. And it has all started as a journaling exercise in rhymes, and it was about my experiences. It was about the romantic experiences actually that I was living at that moment in time. It was about life in general as well. But then it moved from being like a journaling exercise to being an introspection exercise once my personal journey developed and I became more self-aware and I became more spiritual. So from this perspective, so that's why in the book, On the Lookout for the Better Half, you will find that although I was on the lookout for something or someone, actually what I found out is that everything that I was on the lookout for was to be found within myself. So yeah, I mean, it's been a journey writing it, and it kind of tells my story from a personal point of view. Yeah, this is perfect product placement right there.
yes.
So it's about the search.
the better half.
Yeah.
It's yourself.
Yeah, I mean, the better half, it's always within us. I'm not taking credit for us being whole in that sense, because again, it takes other people to model you in a way that you are, and in a way that you are becoming who you are based on the experiences that you have
okay.
while interacting with other people around you. So I don't want to take the credit from the man in my life, which I wrote about in that book. So I want to thank them for the inspiration, let's put it like that. And yeah, I mean, it just combines the romantic sarcasm of the poems with the pragmatic approach of today's introspection and reflection.
So basically, all your experiences, to all the men in your life, like it sounds a little bit
sounds
weird.
a little bit
but
heavy
no,
right there.
But no, to everybody, like men or people who were in your life, let's not say speak only on the romantic part, they helped you
Yeah.
to meet yourself.
Yeah, they guided me in the right direction. So I couldn't be more thankful for that. And it's a bunch of experiences that made me who I am today, no matter how cliche that might sound.
That
And
is so not.
yeah, I mean, it's just that everything that you do, even this interview, right? I mean, it just leaves a mark. It leaves a fingerprint on who you are. And that's the beauty of life, because sometimes you know, okay, what you're going to do tomorrow, but sometimes you don't. So
Basically, in our discussion now, you are reassuring my idea of like, for 1 year now, I've been thinking that I'm so grateful for all the experiences that happened in my life, good or bad,
Yeah.
because they made me discover myself or made me the person who I am today. And not only the good part are transforming you, also the nasty ones.
yeah, the needy and greedy.
The needy, like, it's like
Of
the
life.
pepper and the salt
Yeah.
in the. So, wow. But going back,
Yeah.
I'm just interfering because you are pushing some buttons that, you know, when you know and you believe in something and somebody comes and reassuring your ideas, it's wow.
Yeah,
So thank you.
And it's more of a conversation, guys. So I mean,
Yeah, yes. This is what we are trying to do in these discussions, in
Yeah.
this interview. It's not like the real interview where we are just, okay, Diana, we have these questions for you. We want to be something natural.
To have a discussion, to have
exactly.
a real experience.
It really feels like that. It really feels like that kind of an experience. And again, I wanna thank you. And I think your audience is the lucky one here, not me as a guest, because you're making it feel cozy for us being here. while on camera, which is not the easiest thing to do. Again,
Thank you.
And yeah, so it's part of it.
But the best part of it will be that if you can forget that the camera's here,
Yeah.
that's the perfect interview
Cool.
from my
Okay,
point of view.
okay.
So,
There are,
But-
there are many cameras, so I can't forget about one. But
It's just us and the rest of the people who
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
watching you,
True,
but no pressure, no pressure.
no pressure.
So, going back to the book,
Sure.
how did it feel when you so you started to write it?
Yeah.
And then the emotion, I believe that there were when you had it at home and you were the first one to it's like your baby. This
Yeah.
is what I've done. And how was to do the launching of the I feel the emotions, and it's like
Yeah.
I want to hear from you.
It was huge. I mean, I don't think I got the full picture and full understanding of what a book launching means until I really had one. And I don't think I really had the idea of what having written a book is until I held the book in my hands. That's very much like it. Because as I mentioned, it started as a journaling exercise, so it was never its purpose to be put out there, out in the open. This came as a process, like, I don't know, for the past couple of years. It is just part of my process of transforming and becoming who I am, and becoming somebody who is so okay with themselves that they are ready to share it with the whole world. Because again, it's a very personal experience, and people tend to judge books by their cover.
It's true.
Yeah, but I mean, it's very harsh when you are kind of doing that to yourself. So it's once taking off those layers, it's like, you know, taking the layers off an onion, if you guys
Yeah,
cook or
Okay,
something.
of course.
So it's so many layers, and it makes you cry more and more while delayering the onion. So I think it happened the same with the book, because once I was getting more and more personal in writing it, I'm moving now to the introspection part, which has been written for the past year. That part was the most challenging one, because it made me relive some aspects and some experiences from the past. But at the same time, it made me see them with different eyes. So yeah, it became much more emotional and much more personal, and at the same time, much more balanced. So that was kind of my process writing it. And going back to your question, to the moment of the proper launch, it was in a way a relief to know that it's out there.
It's out there, yeah.
And that part of me who was it has been only until up to that point. So now I'm just it's not necessarily a different version, because at the core it's still me, but it's somebody who transformed based on that experience that she had before. So
Yeah, it's a huge step, and it takes a lot of courage.
Yeah.
Indeed, and also it's sharing your thoughts, your feelings, and that's brave.
yeah.
It is. It's really. I mean, it's
Is
like
it relieving? Do you feel better now that you have the book out?
Yes, definitely. So it was kind of the best therapy
Okay.
that I didn't had to pay for, you know, right? It just
put it
happened.
out there.
Yeah. So
So-
it makes you go through many things, but again, that only if you let yourself do that. It's okay if you don't. Maybe it's not necessarily the time, maybe it's not necessarily the moment, so it's perfectly fine. Everybody has their own moments of introspection, and that doesn't have to come from the outside. It just has to come from
tell
within.
me, do you have anything else prepared? Something else coming?
Oh, okay. I was like, do I have something prepared? I mean, I brought the book. I mean, something else prepared. Well, actually, there is. So, okay, apart from the fact that the book is available on Amazon, and
buy it. It's very, very good.
Yeah, I mean, and
No, it is real because I read it. So
yeah, it was my gift to you, and
thank you so much.
Thank you so much for receiving it. It's on Amazon, and it's on Kindle and paperback and hardcover and audiobook format. So whatever the format of your choice, you can go there
Okay.
and buy it for yourself, was even as a gift for friends and family. But apart from that, what I have started this year, and I very much enjoy doing, is I have created this book clubbing series. So it's a recorded series of 40 events, because there are 40 poems in the book, and I get to upload those on my YouTube channel
Okay.
every Tuesday. So stay
just
tuned.
share your YouTube, because we
Yeah,
want people
sure.
to.
No worries.
What's
I
the
will-
name of your YouTube channel?
Well, it's my name.
So okay.
It's easy to remember. So it's the author of the book.
So Diana Mereu.
Exactly, the guest of today. So yeah, I'm doing that, and I'm releasing content there every Tuesday, and I'm really happy with that. And there is something else coming up, and I promise you'll be among the first to know. If
we are
not the
looking
first,
forward.
Okay.
but I can't tell much about that right now.
Diana, my God, now you're talking and you're talking, and it's like, oh my God, when you are doing all of this, like CEO, author, doing your own social media, which is hard, and also, oh my God, you're so many things in one person. Congratulations,
Thank you.
it's empowering, seriously. So, Diana, you're amazing, but we already know this, and you are one of the few people who admit that they are amazing. You have the courage to say that.
Do I?
Yes, you're
Yeah,
amazing.
you do.
I like the fact that you know who you are. But my question is, from the book, all the introspection, how did it take you to the coaching, or how did this go?
Okay.
And if that helped you to be more aware of who you are.
Sure. Okay. Well, thank you for the amazing part, but I wanted to say that back to both of you. The book in itself, it's a mindful journey towards the authentic self. So what I think about it is that it gets people to be more in tune with who they are. Once they let that journey towards the authentic self to develop, they get to be again more in tune with their self, and that's exactly what happened for me, because I have been accredited as a coach, so I have both my AC and my ICF accreditation as a life coach, but I specialize in mindset coaching.
Where did you
Sure.
take the classes? Because
Oh.
I know, but I want you to share with everybody.
Okay, it was Jay Shetty Certification School. I love Jay, and I have been following him for years. And once he put it out there that he created this genius community and then launching this coaching classes, I said, okay, I have to be there. And it's been rewarding in itself, because the process that took me along this, I think it was like 1 year of coaching classes, was unbelievable. The teachers were amazing. The group in which I had the opportunity to take these classes in was again amazing. So I think it was the right choice for me, and it came at the right moment, because if it wouldn't have been for that experience, I couldn't have introduced deep parts of me in the book within the introspection part that comes and complements very well the poems. So yeah, I think it just happened in a perfect timing. I know there is no such thing as a perfect time. You create it for yourself, but let's put it like, okay, then I created that timing for myself, and it was just great, because it got to that point in which I managed to change myself before changing anyone else around me, because coaching is not necessarily working for somebody, it's working with somebody, and I don't like to call them necessarily clients, but rather coachees, So kind of a balanced relationship that you have as a coach with your coachee. But while doing the coaching school, and so while I was in the coaching school and while I was writing the introspection part in the book, it's when I was kind of coaching myself. So yeah, I think it was a great mixture.
How's it like to be the student and the teacher?
And the coach at the same time. I think it's even more difficult because you get to be more harsh on yourself. Your expectations towards what you want to get out of that experience are higher. So yeah, I kind of asked a lot from myself, but I have to admit that was much more in the beginning, because along this journey and along this coaching process, I got to be more easy on myself. I got to be more like, okay, maybe this is not a good day for science, you know?
Okay.
Just do something else.
Basically, you drop the perfection.
Yeah.
I think I was going to ask you, are you a perfectionist? Which I know you were,
Yes.
and probably you still are on some bits.
Yeah.
But I remember while you are talking, and sorry, it doesn't really have but it does have a connection, because I know ever since I know Diana, she was always doing something to improve herself. MBA, learning, studying. And I was all the time thinking, how is she doing all this? Coming to work, doing all this here, and also studying, and wow.
Yeah.
And now the coaching, and
I think I was doing it without necessarily realizing that what I'm preaching now with the mindset coaching thing, I was doing that on myself ever since, because when it comes to mindset coaching, that's what it actually does. It has to do with the way you organize yourself, how you prioritize yourself, how you shift your mind from not knowing to knowing, from a lot of what ifs to what is. Also, it has to do with your organization skills. It has to do with taking responsibility and ownership for projects. So, okay, it's so many things that I think I was doing even before coming into this field. But again, I think it goes back to what we were discussing previously. This perfectionism, I might still have it, but again, it goes maybe only in some projects I developed, I let it in only during some moments when I know I need it, or only while doing some specific roles, while performing some specific roles. So yeah, I think it's it just goes like that. What I like to say that I do is like dotting the I, because we always talk about ourselves, and we kind of let the I undotted many times, and that kind of requires a shift of perception, from being to just becoming who you are, because we are very much focused into being, into doing a lot of things without necessarily looking forward to whom we are becoming based on that being, if it makes sense.
yeah, it does.
So it's a lot of the time dotting the I by choice rather than by chance, because during our lifetime we let many things happen to us without us necessarily thinking that we have an impact on that. Even before, we were mentioning about time and how time is something that happens but without you necessarily having an impact on it. I tend to disagree, because I think it's also part of us deciding when that time is right. So I kind of challenge that perception, and I challenge that with my clients as well, because a lot of the clients and a lot of coachees that I had to work with, and I had privilege to work with, they were very curious, they were very eager to learn, very eager to improve, but again, they were timely prepared to take this journey. They made that time perfect for themselves to be embarked in this journey along with me. So actually, it's me who was chosen by them to be part of the story that they are creating for themselves.
So you do one-to-one session coaching. So guys, contact Diana, because she will really, how to say, she will
shift your perception.
Shift your perspective. Sorry, and I think what you're doing is you are helping people to get closer to themselves. Like it was that line. It was a movie that I saw, and it really I will use again inspired me. It was The Gift. It's a very nice series, and it's at the end of the movie it said never stop wondering or asking yourself who you are. And I think this has to stay at the base of everything.
That's good.
Knowing who you are and working on finding who you are.
Yeah, I think that's a great ending line and a perfect beginning line, because whenever that ends, it's when
preparing a new start.
It's when you start. Yeah. So I think it's perfect. I want to watch that series too.
Yeah, definitely, because it's very, very good, and it's showing, because basically as a person, like, I think that each day we are born and we die. Yeah. Because this never comes back, and every day you just need to improve yourself. So
yeah, you improve, you transform, you change, right? So you change day after day, and that's exactly at least what I'm trying to do with my coaching, to untap people's potential, to make them overcome blockages or move past those blockages or limiting beliefs that they have. Trying to get them from the not knowing to the knowing part. And this change, again, starts with us. It's exactly like with the vaccine, because you kind of inject the system with the very thing that you try to fight. So it's just like that. And whenever you get to that point, you should start asking yourself and try to start to balance. Okay, what is there to lose if I don't change, with what is there to lose if I do change, right? So yeah.
Wow, time flies. Unfortunately, I mean, I would stay and talk with you like on and on and on, but
for me it was an amazing episode.
Yes, it was, and you challenged ourselves. As we said, it's the first episode in English, and I think it's the first from many others, we hope.
Yeah,
and we really hope that you will choose to be again our guest in the proximate future.
Yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, I have that engraved on my skin. Actually, it's my second tattoo, because my first tattoo is mentioned in the book. So yeah, I think it's some sort of a journey, and it got me to move from representing a company and representing an organization to representing myself, because this is actually what is it all about. I mean, it's putting yourself out there and having the courage, having the guts to do that. Personal branding, I would call it, just like in general terms, though I think it's much more than that, because it comes with self-knowledge as well. And I think it goes beyond of anything that you have learned until that moment about yourself, and it's about whom you present yourself to the others. It's about the truth that you kind of continuously communicate, because what I've learned in my experience is that truth sells, and authenticity brings the right people and the right opportunities in your life. So that's kind of what I would advise people, to just be honest about who they are, but also be very specific about their needs, else people wouldn't know what to ask for them or where to take them from. And yeah, I mean, we are not alone, and making other people part of your journey, like you two guys are part of my journey right now. It's very important.
We're
because
glad.
Yeah, it's super important to have that feeling of being part of something that is way bigger than you, and just to make your why spoken out loud and make it heard and just make it clear. You don't have to justify it, just put it out there.
Thank you, Diana. Don't forget to follow her YouTube, buy the book because it's great. Also, we want to thank to Trattoria della Nonna for hosting us in this edition. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you, Diana. Thank you,
you.
Karina.
Also,
Please help us with a like, share, subscribe, and all the good buttons that you have
Do
there.
that. You will not regret it.
Yeah.
So bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye.